Do you enjoy shopping, but sometimes feel shy or confused about what to say in English? Don't worry. Today, you'll learn how to handle real conversations while shopping. You'll practice how to talk to store workers, ask about prices, sizes, and colors, and respond naturally like a confident English speaker. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to walk into any store and speak clearly and politely in English. So, let's start with a simple and realistic shopping conversation. Imagine you walk into a clothing store. You're looking for a new shirt. The store is bright and colorful, and a friendly shop assistant smiles and greets you. "Hello, how can I help you today?" says the shop assistant. You smile back and say, "Hi, I'm looking for a shirt." The shop assistant asks, "Sure, what kind of shirt are you looking for?" You reply, "Something casual, maybe with short sleeves." This part of the conversation is very common in shops. Notice how polite and short the sentences are. You don't need long or difficult words. Just clear and simple sentences like, "I'm looking for," or "Do you have," work perfectly. The shop assistant shows you a few shirts and says, "We have these in different colors. Would you like to try one on?" You look at the shirts and say, "Yes, I'd like to try the blue one, please." "Of course," the assistant replies. "The fitting room is right over there." You walk to the fitting room and try the shirt. When you come out, the shop assistant asks, "How does it fit?" You smile and say, "It's a little too big. Do you have a smaller size?" The shop assistant checks and says, "Let me see. Yes, we have a medium size. Would you like to try it?" You answer, "Yes, please. Thank you." This short exchange is a perfect example of a polite shopping conversation. You're learning how to describe what you want, how to respond, and how to ask for something specific. Notice how each sentence starts naturally. "I'm looking for." "Do you have?" "It's too big." "I'd like to try." These are all useful and flexible expressions. You can use them in almost any shopping situation, not only in a clothing store, but also in a shoe shop, supermarket, or even a market stall.
When you practice, try saying these sentences aloud. For example, stand in front of a mirror and say, "I'm looking for a shirt," or "Do you have this in a smaller size?" Speaking aloud helps your mouth get used to the rhythm and sound of English. You'll become more confident and fluent with time. After trying the smaller size, you look in the mirror and feel that it fits much better. You walk out of the fitting room with a smile. The shop assistant notices and asks, "How is it now? Does it fit well?" You reply, "Yes, this one fits perfectly. I really like it." The shop assistant smiles and says, "That's great. It looks good on you. Would you like to take it?" You think for a moment and ask, "How much is it?" This question is very common and simple. How much is it? You can also say, "What's the price?" or "Can you tell me the price, please?" They all mean the same thing, but "how much is it" is the most natural and polite way to ask. The shop assistant looks at the tag and says, "It's $25." You might want to know if there's any discount, so you can ask, "Is it on sale?" or "Do you have any discounts today?" The assistant replies, "Yes, there's a 10% discount on all shirts today." You're happy to hear that and say, "Oh, that's nice. I'll take it, please." Let's pause for a moment to understand this part. In shopping conversations, it's important to know how to ask about prices and offers politely. You can use simple sentences like, "How much does this cost? Is there any discount? Do you have this in a cheaper price? Can you give me a better price?" This one is more common in markets or local shops. After that, you continue the conversation. The shop assistant says, "Would you like to pay by cash or card?" You reply, "I'll pay by card, please." The shop assistant points to the counter and says, "You can pay over there."
At the counter, the cashier greets you and says, "Hello, did you find everything okay?" You reply, "Yes, thank you. I'd like to pay for this shirt." The cashier scans the item and says, "That will be $22.50 after discount." You hand your card and say, "Here you go." The cashier smiles and says, "Thank you. Please enter your PIN." After you finish, the cashier says, "Here's your receipt. Would you like a bag?" You reply, "Yes, please. Thank you very much." This simple interaction is a full example of a real-life shopping exchange. Polite, natural, and easy to understand. Notice how "please" and "thank you" appear often. They make your English sound kind and respectful. If you want to practice, try repeating this short scene aloud, or even act it out. For example, you can imagine being in a store, holding a shirt, and saying, "How much is it?" Then imagine the assistant replying, "It's $25. Respond, "Okay, I'll take it, please." Practicing like this helps your pronunciation and confidence grow faster. After buying your shirt and leaving the clothing store, you decide to visit a nearby supermarket to pick up some everyday items. This part of the lesson will help you practice English for grocery shopping, something most people do often. You walk into the supermarket and grab a shopping basket. As you move through the aisles, you see a lot of items: fruits, vegetables, snacks, drinks, and more. You're looking for some apples, milk, and bread. You find the fruit section first, but the apples look very different. Some are green, some are red, and some are yellow. You're not sure which ones to choose, so you ask for help. You see a supermarket worker nearby and say, "Excuse me, can you help me, please?" The worker smiles and says, "Of course. What are you looking for?" You reply, "I'm looking for some sweet apples. Which ones are the best?" The worker points and says, "These red ones are sweet, and those green ones are a bit sour." You nod and say, "I'll take the red ones, thank you."
You pick a few apples and put them in your basket. Then you go to the dairy section and look for milk. There are so many types: full cream, low fat, almond milk, soy milk. You're not sure what they all mean, so you ask another question. You turn to a nearby staff member and say, "Hi, can you tell me the difference between these kinds of milk?" The staff member replies, "Sure. Full cream milk is rich and thick. Low-fat milk has less fat. Almond milk is made from almonds, and soy milk is made from soybeans. Good for people who don't drink regular milk. You smile and say, "Oh, I see. I'll take the low-fat milk, please." This is a great example of how to ask for help and information in a polite and simple way. You can always start with "Excuse me" or "Can you help me, please?" These phrases sound kind and respectful. You can also use "What does this mean?" or "What's the difference between?" when you want to understand something better. Next, you move to the bakery section and see fresh bread. You want a loaf, but you also notice croissants and rolls. The baker behind the counter smiles at you and says, "Good afternoon. Would you like to try our fresh bread?" You reply, "Yes, please. It smells really good. Can I have one loaf of brown bread?" The baker says, "Sure. Would you like it sliced?" You say, "Yes, please. That would be great." The baker slices the bread and puts it in a bag for you. You take it and say, "Thank you very much." Notice how every small detail of the conversation sounds friendly and natural. The key to shopping in English is being polite and using short, clear sentences. When you finish shopping, you go to the checkout counter. The cashier greets you with a smile and says, "Hello. Did you find everything you needed today?" You reply, "Yes, thank you." The cashier scans your items and says, "Your total is $12.40. You pay and say, "Here you go." The cashier replies, "Thank you. Would you like a receipt?" You say, "Yes, please."
Then the cashier says, "Have a nice day." And you reply, "You too. Goodbye." This type of exchange is simple but very real. It helps you build confidence in everyday English. Notice how repeating polite phrases like please, thank you, and have a nice day makes you sound friendly and confident. After finishing your grocery shopping, let's move to another common shopping situation: buying something from a market or a small street shop. This part will help you learn how to speak naturally when prices are not fixed, and you might want to ask for a better deal or compare options. Imagine you're visiting a weekend market. The atmosphere is lively. People are chatting, vendors are calling out prices, and colorful items are displayed on every stall. You walk past a few shops selling bags, scarves, and handmade crafts. One small stall catches your attention because you see a beautiful leather bag hanging in front. You walk closer to take a look. The shopkeeper smiles and says, "Hello, would you like to take a look?" You reply, "Yes, please. This bag looks nice. How much is it?" The shopkeeper says, "It's $50. You think for a moment and decide to ask politely, That's a bit expensive. Can you give me a better price?" The shopkeeper laughs kindly and says, "Okay, I can give you a small discount. How about $45? You smile and respond, "Could you make it 40? I'll buy it right now." This type of negotiation is very common in open markets, especially when prices are flexible. Notice how you're still polite and friendly. You use "could you" and "please" instead of sounding demanding. This makes a big difference and helps you communicate respectfully. The shopkeeper nods and says, "All right, deal, $40." You reply, "Thank you. It's really nice." The shopkeeper starts wrapping the bag and says, "Would you like a paper bag or plastic bag?" You say, "A paper bag, please." While packing, the shopkeeper adds, "We also have matching wallets. Would you like to see them?" You're curious and reply, "Sure. Can I take a look?"
The shopkeeper shows you a few wallets and says, "These are made from the same material, very good quality." You pick one up and say, "It feels nice. How much is this one?" The shopkeeper says, "Normally it's 20, but I'll give it to you for 15. You smile and say, "That's a good price. I'll take it, too." This small, natural conversation shows how you can be polite and confident when buying something in a local shop or market. You don't need complicated grammar, just clear and simple sentences like, "How much is this?" "Can you give me a better price?" "That's a bit expensive." "I'll take it, please." "Can I pay by cash?" Let's continue the scene. After agreeing on the price, you take out your wallet and say, "Here's $40 for the bag and 15 for the wallet." The shopkeeper counts the money and replies, "Thank you very much. Here's your change." You smile and say, "Thank you. Everything looks great. Have a good day." The shopkeeper says, "You too. Come again next time." In this situation, the key is to stay polite and friendly. Even if you don't agree on the price, you can say something nice like, "Okay, maybe next time," or "Thank you anyway." These phrases keep the conversation positive. When you practice this type of conversation, imagine yourself walking through a real market. Pretend you're touching the products, asking questions, and negotiating prices. Speaking the sentences aloud will make you sound more confident and natural. After your visit to the market, let's move to another useful shopping situation: buying something online or over the phone. In today's world, many people shop on websites or apps, so it's important to understand the common English phrases used in these situations. The language is still simple, but the tone is slightly different because you're not speaking face-to-face. Imagine you're sitting at home, browsing a popular online store. You're looking for a pair of comfortable shoes. You scroll through the options, and one pair catches your eye. The description says, "Lightweight running shoes, available in multiple sizes." But you're not sure which size to choose, so you decide to contact customer support through live chat. You type, "Hello, I'd like to ask about the running shoes. I'm not sure which size would fit me. Can you help?"
The customer support agent replies, "Of course. May I know your usual shoe size?" You answer, "I usually wear size 9. The agent types back, "Our shoes run a little small. I suggest you take size 9.5 for a better fit." You thank them and say, "All right, thank you. I'll order size 9.5 then." The agent replies, "You're welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with?" You say, "No, that's all. Thank you for your help." This short and polite exchange is typical of online or phone conversations. Notice how you still use polite and clear phrases. "I'd like to ask," "Can you help me?" "Thank you for your help." Even in writing or over the phone, politeness makes communication smooth and pleasant. After you place your order, you receive a confirmation message. Your order has been placed successfully. Estimated delivery time, 3 to 5 business days. But 2 days later, you realized you entered the wrong delivery address. You need to contact customer service again to fix it. You call the support line, and after a short wait, someone answers. "Hello, this is customer service. How can I help you today?" You reply, "Hi, I placed an order for a pair of shoes 2 days ago, but I made a mistake in my address. Can I update it, please? The agent says, "Of course. Could you please give me your order number?" You check your email and read it out. Yes, it's 45872. The agent replies, "Thank you. I've found your order. What's the correct address?" You tell them your updated address, and the agent says, "Got it. I've updated your address in our system. Your order will now arrive at the correct location." You respond, "That's great. Thank you so much for your help." The agent says, "You're very welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with?" You reply, "No, that's all. Have a nice day." This part of the lesson teaches you how to communicate clearly when shopping online or handling small problems politely. You can use simple, respectful sentences like, "I'd like to check my order." "Can I update my address, please?" "When will my order arrive?" "Thank you for your help."
Now imagine a small issue. The shoes arrive, but they're the wrong color. You contact customer support again and say, "Hi, I received my order today, but the shoes are blue instead of black. Can I return or exchange them?" The agent replies, "I'm very sorry about that. Yes, you can return them within 7 days for an exchange or refund." You say, "Thank you. How can I do that?" The agent explains, "You'll receive a return label by email. Please print it and attach it to the package, then drop it at your nearest courier office." You reply, "Okay, that's clear. I'll do that. Thanks again for your help." The agent says, "You're welcome. Have a great day." These are everyday customer support conversations, short, clear, and polite. If you practice them, you'll be able to handle any shopping situation, even online, with confidence.